Hello, everyone, and I'm Kathleen Parisien, and I'm being joined by Michelle Legault today. Everyone say hi to Michelle.
Hi, everyone.
So, what we're going to be doing is a 14-day meditation workshop. Basically, while we're self isolating, we both saw the need for taking the time to kind of go within, to let go of all the stuff that's happening in the world. As not to say that it's not important, but the more that we engage in it, the more that we're kind of losing ourselves. So, meditation can help ground us, and by doing it kind of all together but separately, it will help create accountability and collaboration and community so that we can all get through these troubled times through meditation, through going within. So Michelle is actually a meditation expert. So Michelle, I'll let you explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing over the next 2 weeks.
Okay, so I would call myself an expert, but I do have some experience in meditation. I did have the honor of writing an undergrad thesis in this field. During that time, not only did I do the research about it, but I felt like I should be practicing during that time. And that's why I kind of, it was more like, I just kind of, if I was going to do the research, I felt like I had to wrap myself around it and actually experience it myself to have a better understanding. So, yeah, so that's what we are going to do with the challenge. Challenge everyone to participate with that.
So you felt like you had to be authentic. You couldn't just write about meditating. You actually had to meditate in order to truly understand all that there is.
For myself, yeah, I wanted to get wrapped up in it and really experience it so I really could get like my toes wet and really get a grasp on it because I had experienced did some meditation in the past, and as much as I was doing it, I did not have an understanding of what was happening. I knew I was doing it, and I was like, I know this is good, so I'm practicing. So this was an opportunity to really learn what's actually happening physiologically, psychologically, and kind of just really see if I could reap any of the benefits.
Absolutely. And so what would you say are the benefits of meditation?
So for me, like my experience, I had done it. So this is not going to be our challenge, but when I did it back then at the time, I would do 2 bouts a day for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. So it was a commitment, and I did it for about 6 weeks. Okay. And meditation is one of those things where what you do is never lost. So it just keeps building upon itself. Okay. So that's one thing to notice. Um, and one thing that I did notice is that I guess I just had a lot of negative self-talk and that type of kind of negativity in my constantly in my brain. So doing the meditation, that actually went away.
It's unique. Cool. Because
It
that's
went away and it never came back to that extent.
wow. So it really
So
goes to show that you can control your thoughts through meditation, that we don't have to let our brain take over. Through meditation, we can kind of go within, turn off those thoughts, and really see who we are.
yeah, because meditation, what it is like you don't ignore all the feelings and all the thoughts that are coming through you. The whole point is to have an anchor. So really, it's kind of like a workout, a physical workout, but this is a workout for your brain. So we're reteaching the brain to really have an anchor and to have a focus. So the point is to eliminate your brain going everywhere, the gazillion thoughts that we have all the time, right? So when you're practicing, we find an anchor, whether it's a body scan, maybe it's the breath, maybe it's a mantra, a particular word. So you just, let's say it's a mantra, a word, okay? So what happens is you're going to keep repeating this word. You're going to keep repeating it. That's your anchor. Eventually your thoughts are gonna go. They're gonna go wander. Okay. It's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen many times throughout the meditation. As soon as you notice that your mind has drifted, you bring it back. You bring it back to your mantra. So now we're teaching the brain to have a focus. So what happens is that during that time span, that we're actually not thinking about all of the madness going around and the to-do list and whatnot. We're actually giving ourselves a break. Now, that break, basically what happens is it rewires your brain. Okay, so the nervous system is it's plastic, it's plasticity, it rewires itself. So I guess for my, like I said, I was having a lot of negative thoughts. That just means that instantly the nerve patterns in my brain were going to a place that was more like fight or flight,
Right.
more of a negative part of the brain. And by doing this training, it rewired my brain that it actually goes directly to a more happy place. So instantly, any thought that comes to mind was essentially at least not negative.
Absolutely. And it's natural for our brains to have that flight or fear sensation because that's how we were designed in ancestors' times, right? Like we had to get away from dangerous situations. Now we don't have those dangerous situations, but our brain still thinks like that. So the meditation helps to kind of relax and align ourselves better.
Yeah, exactly. Have at least as long as it's not a negative thought pattern that you constantly have, it's a win. And that's what we're doing. It may not necessarily you may not, necessarily be happy or excited or anything, but that's not the point. If you can just not think negatively, that's a plus.
Right. And so you spoke about, so there's about 3 ways that we're going to focus on meditating for our challenge,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do what you just said, the mantras, the body scans, and focusing on the breath. So can you tell us a little bit more about those other two, the body scan and focusing on the breath as forms of meditation?
Sure. Now, this is just one form of meditation. There are many different forms, okay? I think when it really comes to meditation, the constant is to have a focus, okay? Now, as a beginner, for some people, the body scan might be a little bit too complicated, okay? It might be too much, okay? So if it's too much for you, don't do that, okay? But the body scan, essentially how it starts is you pick a part of so you're sitting in meditation. So first off, when you're going to meditate, okay, you want to be seated properly. So anchoring your sit bones, okay, if any yogis are out there, those are just the 2 bones that we sit on. And you want to have an erect spine, a straight spine, okay? Your hands, okay, you can just put them on your knees. They mostly say, especially in yoga, if you want to have more of a sense of grounding, flip your palms down. If you want to be a little bit more open, maybe invite more energy, maybe your palms are up. No big deal. Okay, so you decide what you want to do. Okay, have an erect spine. You can sit on a chair with both feet flat on the ground. Okay, I personally like to sit on my bed with my legs crossed, but I always put a pillow underneath my seat just to lift the hips a little bit higher so I'm not kind of curving down, so it gets me that nice open spine. Okay, now you want to try and keep that spine nice and straight throughout the process. So and you want to choose a space that no one is ideally going to bother you. Okay.
Uninterrupted space. Yes, that's important.
And when it comes to that, like it's been encouraged, some people like it's encouraged, to keep this going. It's either like do it at the same time every day. Okay. Have a particular space dedicated to this. Okay. Those might be things that might help you succeed in this. Okay. For myself, I'm a little bit more lenient. It's like as long as I get it in within that 24 hours, I'm good. Okay. So for me that works. But if you and I just sit on my bed, I close the doors and I'm just there for the 20 minutes. Maybe tell my family try to not bother me, but it's gonna happen. There might be some kids yelling and chaos, but just try and remain zen. Okay. So sorry, going back to the body scan. So the point of the body scan, so what I would do is I would start from my hand. Okay. So what I would do is I would just bring my focus to like my thumbnail. Okay. So I would like literally try and feel my thumbnail. Okay. Now we move to my thumb knuckle. Now we move to the crease of my hand. Now I would move to my second finger, the nail. Once I feel it, then I move to the knuckle. Then I move to the next knuckle. So it can be as slow. So, for a big part of my meditation, sometimes I would only get through like 1 or 2 arms, let alone the legs, the core, the heart, the ears, the head. So I really took my time with this. Like I really waited till I felt that connection. I could really feel that particular spot in my body. Okay. So the whole point, that's my anchor. And I move from one spot to the other spot, and then my mind would go nuts, and then I would bring it back. So that was just the body scan is an anchor. Another thing we can use is a mantra, and you can choose whichever mantra. So you can, let's just throw this one out there. You can just keep repeating yourself to yourself, self-love, and feel like maybe some heat and some warmth in your heart. Or you can say positive creation. I'm going to, if you want to elicit a little bit more creativity, positive creation, positive creation. You can choose a few words, but you keep repeating it. That's your anchor. Some people will be the breath. So now some nice big deep belly breath. Okay. Or a lot of people when they start is they just kind of put their hands together and they just remain the focus on the hands. So whichever one you choose, you're looking for an anchor. And when your thoughts go away from that anchor, as soon as you notice the thoughts are gone now, you're going to bring them back. So this is a brain workout. It does take conscious effort.
Excellent. And I think you've given a lot of great tips for people that are just getting into meditation, sorry. And we're basically going to be doing this for 14 days. Both of us, we're going to be posting on social media our progress of what it felt to meditate that day, what came over us. Was it easy? Was it hard? Right? We're all humans. We're all not perfect, right? Like you said, some days that it's bad things are going to come up or just undesirable. And that's okay too. You just kind of let it go. The ideal time would be to work yourself up to 20 minutes a day, right? And Michelle, you had given some tips on if 20 minutes is too much for some people. What do you suggest?
Yeah. So basically anything helps. Okay. So if you can only sit still for 5 minutes, then you only sit still for 5 minutes. Maybe do 2 5-minute bouts that day. Ideally, if you can, try and do at least 2 10-minute bouts. Okay, if that doesn't work, like I said, 5 minutes, build yourself up to the 20 minutes. Okay, this will take conscious effort. I did want to mention a couple of things as well, based on what you just mentioned. Now, I've had the experience of going into meditation where I'm feeling like super great. I'm just meditating and I come out in a bad mood. Okay. I've had the opposite thing happen as well, where you go in and you're like in a bad mood and you come out feeling good. The thing is when you're in meditation, stuff is going to come up. The thing is you're not trying to attach to it, you're trying to observe it. Okay, you don't want to let those emotions consume you. So while you're in meditation, let whatever emotion bubble up. That's good. It's processing. Just you're not attaching to it. You are observing it from a different perspective.
So kind of like clouds in the sky, you get just kind of see them go, but you don't take them in, just pass them along.
Yeah, you saw them go, you experience that feeling, you know that feeling is there. You don't have to attach to it. Let it just go. Exactly. Like a cloud in the sky, poof, let it go. Yeah.
I'm really excited to hear the feedback that we'll get from 14 days of meditation. It has powerful impacts of preserving relationships, of calming our own thoughts, especially in times like this where all we can do is go within. This is a self-isolation activity, a brain activity. You don't have to go far. There's not really any excuses why you can't do this. And really, the more that you put into it, the more you get out. As you said, even if you haven't meditated in a long time and you just get back on that horse, it's the same. You can just keep going and keep building on that.
Of course. And, we're saying 20 minutes. If a person wants to do 50 minutes in the morning, 50 minutes at night, by all means, increase your time. But yeah, it's a good starting point. It's just to kind of get everyone going and try something new. This is something that's going to foster creation. You know, it can be very transformative.
Yeah, I
So
could just see a
have
lot
some
of
faith.
people quitting their jobs after this. Like they start meditating, like
Oh no.
but that
Everyone,
is
burn
good.
a vacation.
But that is good, right? If you're awakening consciousness within you, you're leveling up, you're growing, you're evolving, and that is the opportunity now. Like in times like this, you can either hide or you can grow, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be growing with meditation.
Yeah, and I think one more thing I'm gonna add, and this is like I think it's a saying that I think a lot of salespeople will use, but it's basically the work you do today will manifest itself in 3 months. So you can be like a better version, a stronger version, a more creative version, a more calm version, a more disciplined version of yourself over time.
That's amazing. So we can all grow from this COVID virus through meditation, through doing this together as a community.
We have the time.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. And so you'll hear Michelle and I in the next 2 weeks posting videos of our updates on the meditation. Please do the same. Encourage others to meditate during this time. It's easier once you start. That's it. Just like everything
Get
else.
going.
Get going. Thank you so much,
Awesome.
everyone.
Thank you. Good luck. Have fun.